Alright, welcome back to the Overwatch. We going in for... I guess you don't pick the game type, do you? It picks it when you match.
It's just random.
So as I promised, the horrible racially loaded
Clan
is it
with a K?
is racial right? Is Northern Ireland versus England like racial? Like that's white on white violence. I mean, I don't think that's the right term. It's I don't know.
Certainly regional.
Regional. Definitely a lot of anger and hostility built up there. In that. So okay, so the name Neil comes from the Viking Neil, Nialo, and the Vikings came in basically and dominated what's part of England today, like Wales, I think, Scotland, and Ireland. And all of that at one time was like Ireland. Like Ireland was much huger, larger area. Much huger. Huge tracts of land. And
it was huger. Huger than anything. Ask anybody.
That's gonna be a title, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
And I meant what I say. So the what was the other one? Shallow waters run deep. There we go. Trying to think of the other title that had come out. So the name O'Neill, okay, the prefix O in Irish is grandson of, okay. So basically, Neil the Viking is like second to Genghis Khan in terms of how far he spread his seed. Okay? So it's not a surprise to find out you're related to him. Because it's like being Asian and find out you have some ancestry to Genghis Khan. Because the dude just went everywhere and fucked everything. Okay? Just had large harems and did that. So everybody like O'Neill, big huge clan. The shield for the clan symbol was a red hand. So if you look at a coat of arms, a European coat of arms, and you see a red hand on a white background, that's the coat of arms of O'Neill's, and very freaking popular. It's in a lot, because like I said, it's descended from like the Vikings who were controlling the whole area before it started to break off into sects and things like that.
Right.
And it's one of like the primary clan shields that you can get up that aren't like, hey, you look at our coat of arms and it's actually two lions actually holding another set of coat of arms because our family, you know, the Flahertys, you know, or whatever, are this and this and this clan, and that's kind of when we had our own shield. So I thought that was really cool, and I was way into it. And there was a legend that my grandfather, I know, embellished this story. The problem is I cannot find a version I can trust of the truth on this story. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the, I know this was probably embellished somewhat. It's the lore that starts the coat of arms. May not be the truth, okay? But the lore was there was an O'Neill and like an O'Brien or some other competing house, one of the other major Irish names. Massive disputes over a tract of land, and still there's a lot of Viking heritage in Ireland, which, you know, go figure, the drinking, right? That's where it comes from. So, to settle things by boat, by naval race or things like that, not uncommon. So there was a match of the first one to get their boat across the channel and lay hand to the shore. Okay, first captain, all right, the O'Neill or the O'Brien, to get across the channel and lay hand to the shore. Claims the land. And as they're going across, I don't know who fires first. Like I said, I can't fire in the legit.
It's certainly not Greedo.
I'm gonna say, you know, the O'Neills are probably shooting fire arrows at the boat, so they're shooting fire arrows and launching all this crap back at each other, not just like a sales race, right? And it's obvious now the Neil ship is not going to be there first. And even when the commander jumps into like a rowboat, he's still too far behind, right? The Neil Lord to make it. So he draws his sword and cuts his hand off to throw it ashore to be the first one to lay a hand on the shore. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is bullshit, but it's the story behind the crest. I have validated that story in various forms of somehow there's some sort of naval competition and he sliced his hand off to lay the shore. I've read it as like settling a dispute as to which clan married this other clan, right? So it was a hand in marriage type thing, read different things, and that's how the clan got in there. So I know all this lore, and wound up just by people leaving the server and being, you know, really good in my guild and everything, being in charge of the guild. And me and my brother were sort of like leading the guild, and somebody came back and they wanted to take over, and it was sort of like, we've been doing this for a really long time now. Like, you left like a year ago. It's a different guild now. And then just got to the point and said, you know what? We're just gonna make a new guild. You know, well, like, we'll go off, let's make a new guild. The city where the O'Neills were headquartered is Ulster. Okay? Over an island.
Okay.
It's not the capital of Ireland, but I guess it was at one time. And I was just like, well, you got this shield. I like, anybody who is up on their lore can see, or lore, who's up on their history, can see where I'm going now at this point. They can see the pieces coming together. I liked reading, Robert Jordan, okay, Wheel of Time series. In there's the Band of the Red Hand, which is Matt's sort of group, right? That's his army.
Right.
And I'm just like combining all these things, and it's just like, we're gonna be the Red Hand of Ulster. Okay?
Okay.
Because this is my coat of arms. We got a white tabard with a red hand on it. I think we actually had to have a fist because they didn't have an open palm. So we had to have a red fist. And we're the Red Hand of Ulster because it fits the story. And I posted the lore and the history all on the site so I could see it. And then members are just like, hey dude, I'm glad you're proud of your heritage and all that. We're gonna go with this other guild. Hey dude, like last night, I got just chewed out in chat and it wasn't cool, man. And you do you. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Sure. I mean, dude, like, it's just my family history. It's not like I'm leading the KKK, right?
So,
right?
One would think.
Right? And then so it's like I start to do some looking up on the internet of like putting in the Red Hand of Ulster, and so the Ulster is a city in Northern Ireland, right in the heart of disputed territory. Oh, and the Red Hand is one of the terrorist organizations of the Northern Irish Army.
Lovely.
Right, so I'm basically, yeah, we're the KKK, just openly flaunting. Like, if you didn't think Red Hand was good enough...
It's about heritage, not hate.
Exactly. Like, if you didn't think Red Hand... If you could look at Red Hand and go, they may have not understood. No, we made it the Red Hand of Ulster. The Red Hand of Northern Ireland. You can't confuse this with any other Red Hand. We deleted the guild. There's no fixing that one.
There's no coming back from that one.
And it became Fists of Null. So it's Fists of Neil, because you're supposed to pronounce Niall. I just looked at that, and that just looks too weird to me to pronounce as Neil, so I've always said Null. But I think I'm saying it wrong. So yeah, we just became the Fist of Null. And we were actually a legendary guild on the server. We were never a huge guild. But the people we had playing were all hardcore. So we were all on at the same time, all went out. If you ever play Dark Age of Camelot, it's a realm versus realm for their PvP. So it's sort of like World of Warcraft, I guess, in the, what do they call it, Battlegrounds? Or,
Yeah.
like that feature that they added to WoW is the main thing in Dark Age of Camelot. There was the frontier zone, there were keeps out there that you could control, and you went into other realms and took their keeps. But that was separated from the PvE zone. So you could level up in the PvE zone and not deal with the PvP if you didn't want to. But it was team-based, you know, it was RVR. So big armies would get together all the time and take keeps and all that. But we just had a very small gank squad that would go out. But we got really good at our gank squad, you know, at, you know, 8 versus 8 type teams. And causing and messing stuff up and even harassing people out there like that. And that's the way I like to play these things, you know? Back when I played PvP in WoW, you could make a campsite, right, in WoW? So I would go into, I played on a PvP server, I played on Arthas. I would go into South Shore, kill someone, make a campsite, so the little campsite was there when they came back to their body, so that they know, no, this is what's happening tonight. As long as you choose to come back and get your body, I'm killing you again. And yes, I'm 20 levels over you. This is what I do, my friend. You know? Like, that's it. And the funny thing is like, I stopped around like level 40, level 50, because then I could gank out the level 20s and level 30s, and stop leveling. And yeah, I played a rogue, of course. And then of course I would like, you played WoW, didn't you?
Yeah, for a little bit.
I would try to gank mages, which is like the counter to a rogue, right?
Yeah.
They just blink and sheep, right? And Willie would just like, will you stop it? You're never gonna kill this guy. Will you just stop? And I'm like, no, one of these times he could screw up. I just want to win one. I will die 100 times to win once and dance on him. And he'll be like, what the fuck? This asshole lost 99 times. He wins once and now he's taunting me? You know? And it's like, yes, I am. That's what I do. And that's really why I never got into an MMO as hard as Dark Age, because they didn't have that, that aspect to it. But the larger guilds started, reaching out to us when they had alliances. Okay, what do we gotta play the game here?
He powered up with
His
Anna's
ultimate
and
yeah.
his ultimate.
That's a good play of the game, though. That's like a good combo moment. So, yeah, then they would, like, when we go take a keep or something, because we were so tight in communication, we would run all the siege equipment for, like, the 100-man raid. Which was kind of cool. But... yeah, we can go another episode, or another game this episode.
Okay.
These are kind of, you know, one-offs, and I'll be posting Dark Souls videos for months, I think, still. I got 3 record sessions I haven't even edited yet. And I know I invited you so you could see the calendars, and I forget how far into August the playthrough is right now. That's just what I've uploaded so far.
Yeah.
I haven't pre-calculated where it's going to go to.
Like, we might be having a Dark Souls Christmas, who knows?
I mean, I've held off of posting my Dark Souls 2 playthrough. Because I was like, maybe I should see if I can wait for the Dark Souls 1 playthrough to end and then tag it. And it's like, no, I'm just gonna like, get that off my hard drive. Just get that done, out of the way. But yeah, we're very quickly at the point where we're gonna have 4 videos a day going up.
Fantastic. I mean,
yeah, it
4
is
videos
fantastic.
that no one's going to see, but hell, I mean, we're putting in the work at least.
Yeah, we are doing that. I mean, it's like I tell the guys in the game design meetup group a lot. One of my common phrases is, you can have an overnight success after you've shipped your 30th game.
No, for sure.
And my thing behind that is like anybody you look at, it's like popped up out of nowhere. Like Hodge popped up out of nowhere with Minecraft. No, he didn't. He had a lot of other little games you never heard of.
That were shit.
Yeah, that were shit. I mean, hell, Fez is Phil Fish's third commercial game. Most people don't realize that. They think of Fez as his first game. But that was actually his third commercial game. That's not counting all of his other, you know, free and other stuff games. I find Phil Fish a fascinating character. Phil Fish and the surrounding drama around him, you know, of not really anymore, but it used to just be crazy of like the things he said that make news,
Yeah.
and then the things he said that don't make news at all, you know. And why I find him so fascinating is because Phil isn't a shit talker. He is the person who calls out the shit talker, right? So like,
Right.
if you were just on the forums, this is the guy who's been on the forums a really long time, and if somebody comes in and talking shit, he jumps on their case. The problem is he got successful and famous. And then the people he's calling out now are quote-unquote gamers and fans. And you're not supposed to do that. And it's like, Phil never changed. Like, the stuff that Phil called people out for
It's still the same shit.
is the stuff he was posting before he was ever famous. It's just the context of it changed.
Yeah.
So are we pushing the payload?
Yes, we're
Okay, because the payload's moving a lot quicker than the other ones have.
It
We're
depends.
doing really well then, I guess.
Yes. So here's my little spiel about Overwatch. Overwatch is cool because it's a team game. So, you know, you can play a lot of different roles and have success in different types of ways. The sort of other side to this is that Overwatch is a team game and you're playing with a team game. Unless you've got, you know, like a group
Right.
of, you know,
A
five
group that you
other
can play with
people.
regularly, yeah. So sometimes you just get a good group.
Sometimes you get a good group, sometimes you get a bad group, and you know where, you know, the best way to measure yourself is not like it you know, an accurate playthrough. If I did really well tonight or did really poorly, that's not an accurate description of like what my skill level is at this game, because
It's still a team game.
yeah, it's just, you know, how you do over time, you know, because, you know, there's a difference between, you know, consistently meddling in certain, you know, categories versus, you know, being a looter in a riot.
Right.
Like, I'm very usually at or near the top of objective time and objective kills. Occasionally I get the most eliminations, and sometimes every once in a blue moon I'll do the most damage.
Right, but it's team-based objectives first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what I have to say, though? From what I've heard, and granted, we're not playing ranked, I guess, but I've not seen any toxicity. Where people have been saying, like, it's gotten toxic in Overwatch. But I guess that's more... They're talking more about ranked?
It depends.
Or
Like,
just the night. You can just have a bad night
Yeah.
and...
Play of the game.
like, I keep waiting for us to go to the lighthouse at Helios, so I can show some toxic behavior.
Okay. There's a map that hasn't come up yet that...
Yeah, like it's not guaranteed. That's a map that I, you know, consistently do pretty well at.
Alright, well maybe we'll get it on the next episode.
We'll see.